Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us for the part 2 of the good, the bad, and the scandalous of dating through the signs of the zodiac. And tonight we are doing part 2 of Cancer Men. So we did a show a little over a week ago now discussing dating Cancer men and experiences, the good traits, the bad traits. We got a little bit into the scandalous, but tonight we're going to dive way deep into some more scandalous stories, which should be good. So I am April, a.k.a. Pisces Moon Goddess. That's all my social media. The way you can find me on social media is under Pisces Moon Goddess. And I'm here with my lovely, intelligent co-host, Apollonia, a.k.a. the Astrology Lady.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the show, part 2 of the good, the bad, and the scandalous of dating those sensitive-ass crabs.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, usually we do a 90-minute show. There's some signs that, there's so many stories, there's so many callers. Like, we had to extend it out to 2 hours last time. So, if you guys didn't hear our part 1, you can catch the replay on Blog Talk Radio here. And also on YouTube, we have all of our episodes of The Good, the Bad, and the Scandalous, of Dating Through the Signs. All previous signs that we've discussed are all up on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is under the Cosmic Council Radio. And you can find all of our other, Moon Mondays. We have Moon Mondays playlist as well of all the previous episodes. And we're working on eventually getting all shows on our network moved to YouTube as well. So, yeah, catch the replay of part 1. It was really good. It was funny. So there's a lot of stuff that we didn't get to mention and to discuss, and some good stories of that we did, when we did part 1. So here we are again. And once again, when we are talking about men who are Cancers, we're talking about men who are born under the energy of Cancer, not just born, in June or July under the sun sign of Cancer. We're also talking about men whose rising sign may be Cancer. Maybe they have Cancer's ruled by the moon. Maybe they have the moon in the 1st house, the moon in the 4th house, stellium of planets, or the sun in the 4th house. Maybe they have the sun in another sign, but then they have like Venus, Mars, and or Mercury in Cancer. They have, the moon in aspect to other personal planets. Those all can be counted as some Cancerian traits, if you will. So if any of the characteristics we describe or stories we describe sound familiar in your dating life, then, hey, that man may have had this Cancerian energy. So, Apollonia, do you have any opening words to say before we start diving into everything?
No, besides Cosmic Council member Rabina Rastaban. Her show is on tomorrow, Saturday, so definitely check her out. Every alternate Saturday starts our podcast week, so you will be able to tune in to someone on Saturday, Sunday, of course, Monday, us here on Moon Mondays, Tuesdays, The Good, the Bad, and the Scandalous, Wednesdays, Nalo Kickin' Knowledge, Friday is Voices Beyond the Veil with Cosmic Council member Tony Barber, and Sundays is the Cosmos After Dark with Everese. So just so everyone has an idea of the lineup, our site will be active after Mercury retrograde is done its course. So look forward to that so that you can keep an ear to the scanner when it comes to our lineup and topics that we will be discussing.
So, we are a network of astrologers, very diverse and various astrologers, and we all have our own podcasts on this network on different days, and tonight's is just one of them. So also we are seeking out affiliates. If you are passionate about a certain topic or subject, you would like to have a platform to voice your your knowledge or your opinions or ideas, we are seeking affiliates to add to our network. So send us an email at questions@thecosmiccouncil.com. That's questions, plural, at thecosmiccouncil.com. And we'll let you know how you can use our platform for your voice. So, send us an email and let us know. Man, I am so tongue-tied tonight. Mercury is like still in it's still in shadow. It's still conjunct Uranus, so it's like And then on top of that, we have Mars in Gemini right now. So there's like all this, crazy Mars mixed with Mercury energy that's making people fire off at the mouth, either by being tongue-tied like me or they're like, so, yeah, but anyhow, I know even ways.
Definitely, let's get cracking. No pun intended.
Yeah. Cracking open some crabs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, well, first I just wanted to list some famous Cancer men that have the sun in Cancer or maybe a Cancer moon that, you may recognize some of these characteristics that we talk about. 50 Cent is a Cancer, Tom Cruise, Robin Williams. Jaden Smith is a Cancer. I thought he was more like an Aquarius. He has to have Aquarius somewhere to be that.
Yeah, I was shocked that Jaden Smith was a Cancer, too. That was rather interesting.
Word. We also have Vin Diesel. We have Sylvester Stallone, Tom Hanks. One of my favorites, Nikola Tesla. I forgot he was a Cancer sun. I knew he had Uranus in the first house, so I'm like, hey, that's my dude.
Oh, that's that Aquarian energy I picked up off of him.
Yeah, he's a Cancer sun. That's why he was like, I don't know. You gotta follow his story. He's got an interesting life story. But Mike Tyson, Cancer sun. O.J. Simpson. Those two have like some of those negative Cancer, dark-sided Cancer traits.
Definitely
Indeed.
Dark-sided Cancers, O.J. and Tyson.
Yeah. Who else? Will Ferrell. I love Will Ferrell. He shows that goofy side of Cancer that I'm going to talk about that I love. Jim Jones, the rapper Jim Jones. Lil Bibby, one of Apollonia's new favorites.
Yes, I love me some Lil Bibby. I wouldn't really say I'm into his music. He's just really nice to look at, and I'll just listen to his music because I'm looking at him. So, win-win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I get you on that. I'm like that about a few of the little young rappers now, too. I'm like, I don't know if I'll listen to your stuff, but there's some cutie pies, so.
Yeah, it's like, since you're eye candy, I guess I'll listen to your mixtape.
Yeah, word. Here we are, some old-ass cougars.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, man. Also, the guy whose song we played in our opening, Plies. That's Plies is a Cancer. That's the only song of his that I've ever really listened to be quite honest, and I like it mainly because Neo is on there. And it's kind of
that song has a lot of history too for me. Me and my homegirl, that was like one of our anthems back in the day. But you're right. I never really liked any other. I'm sure if I heard of Plies, I'm sure I know Plies songs that I've heard before, but I'm not like a huge Plies fan or anything. I'm a fan of his comedy on Instagram, though. He's very funny. That goofy side of Cancer you were just talking about with Will Ferrell.
Yes, they could be goofy. Another goofball Cancer, Mac Dre. May he R.I.P. He's one of my all-time favorite Cancer rappers. I love Mac Dre. He was funny as heck, man. I love him.
Now, when I moved to Texas, I started hearing more Mac Dre music. Very creative guy, very cool-ass music. But I didn't know anything about his goofy side or any of that. So, yeah, definitely touch on that. I would love to hear it.
Oh, I wish I could. I should have played one of his songs, but I couldn't find it in time to display the goofy, funny side of him. Who else? Party Next Door. He's a newer artist. George Michael. I was like, George Michael's a Cancer? Yeah, George Michael was a Cancer. One of my favorites of the 90s, Kurt Cobain from Nirvana. He's a Cancer moon. Drake is a Cancer moon, and Jimi Hendrix was a Cancer moon. So pretty interesting. Oh, yeah, and Keith Sweat. We played him last week, crying, why me, bang, he's a Cancer sun. And I noticed, hey, if you guys go back and you hear the playback of part 1, when the song started, after I finally got it started, you can hear me bust out laughing after he started going, what did I do, babe? Oh, wow. My God, yeah. Keith Cryer, yeah. He's a Cancer, too. So, yeah, I guess, you know, there are some good traits that I remembered after the show. There's just so much to say about this sign. Once again, if you didn't hear part 1, I'll just reiterate on the fact that just this sign in general is a feminine sign. It is feminine energy. So it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. You can be born under the energy of this sign and have feminine energy. Okay? So the fact that males traditionally are supposed to be really like masculine and buff and the protectors and strong and never cry and display emotions, and emotions are just, generally speaking, about humans in the most primitive form, emotions are associated with feminine. So this is why Cancer men, they don't always have that good of a rep. You know, women, we got some calls last time. Women were just going off. I was like, oh, so where's the good stuff? Nobody's calling in with the good stuff. It was like, man, these bitch-ass Cancer men, I can't stand this. I can't deal with the crying. So it was pretty funny and entertaining. But, yeah, there are some good traits. Some good traits that I remembered were, of course, the goofy part, okay? See, since Cancer is ruled by the moon, you hear the Latin or Spanish word, the Latin root word for moon is luna, or it has L-U-N in it, okay? So if you hear somebody talk about, the word loony, okay, it comes from the word meaning the moon. So Cancer men can be quite loony, quite goofy. Like I mentioned earlier, Will Ferrell, prime examples, total goofball Cancer, so funny. And, they don't even have to try to be funny or goofy. They just are. Like, I've been around a lot of Cancer men, and they just their demeanor, they just naturally do some goofy stuff. And then they turn around, they're like, oh, did I really do that? And then it's just like, you can't help but laugh at them, man. And they will say some off-the-wall stuff. They're not afraid to get into that goofy mode. But, of course, as long as they're comfortable and they're comfortable with you, they'll show you that goofy side. So I really love that about Cancer men. Yeah, the ones that I dated one for a minute, and that was one thing that really attracted me to him and kept me around, was he was just goofy, just funny, had a sense of humor, and was able to laugh at himself about stuff, So that was pretty cool. And what else? Yeah, we mentioned last time that they're very attentive. I once dated a Venus in Cancer guy. He was a Leo, had a Leo stellium, but he had Venus in Cancer, and so he was very attentive. Of course, the Leo is a sign of like being very affectionate. And then Venus in Cancer, if a man has Venus in Cancer, number one, he's going to be, usually they are pretty kind to women and treat women pretty well because they're in touch with the feminine, which is Venus, and then it's in a Cancer, a feminine sign. So Venus and Cancer men are usually, very respectful of women. They value motherhood very much and their mothers. So this guy that I dated that had Venus in Cancer, that's how he was. And I remember we were going to school together. This is when I was in school. And he was very masculine. He reminded me of Prince in a way. He didn't wear makeup or high heels and none of that stuff, but just his demeanor was kind of Prince-ish. Like, he was a pretty boy, and all the girls loved him, and he had so many female friends. But he wasn't hooking up with all of them. He just loved to be around females. And he would ask me sometimes, because I have naturally long fingernails, he would say, hey, bring to school some clear nail polish. And I'm like, okay, you weirdo. Like, what's this about? He loved, this may sound weird, but he loved painting my nails. We would sit there at the benches at school, and he would paint my nails for me. He loved doing that. And like I said, I don't think he was, like, gay or anything like that. He just, I don't know, but I thought that was cool. I'm a Venus in Taurus, and me and Venus in Cancer can vibe out like that in that feminine way. And he was a sweetheart. He would buy me stuff at the lunch truck at school. Very sweet guy, but still had that masculinity, that Leo that was just really dope. So, yeah, a man who has Venus in Cancer, but he has other energies in other signs, can still be pretty masculine, but be in touch with females enough to where they just treat females very well. Yeah, that's an experience I have. It's a good experience and some good qualities of Cancer men. Yeah, Apollonia, did you have any other like good qualities that you remembered to talk about?
Off the top of my head, I think I noted most of the good qualities that stand out to me about Cancers the first go-round. Just being extremely honest, it's kind of hard for me to dig deep when it comes to good Cancer traits. You being a Taurus woman, you are more partial to their energy, and me not so much, being an Aquarius rising. When it comes to being in an intimate situation with them. But in general, I know I stated before that Cancers are very attentive to your needs, and they can make excellent friends as long as it doesn't cross the barrier when it comes to me. Like, I can be extremely good friends with Cancers. It's just waters get murky when I get too involved. But yeah, I think I listed all of the good things that I wanted to say about him in the first show.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And you know, this just goes to show like that, you know, since we do talk about, we are astrologers, we try to look at things from like a broad point of view, and of course, you know, the textbook astrology stuff, we will talk about that. But we also share personal experiences on this program, and there's some energies that don't vibe with you personally, and some that do vibe more with you personally, like positively, you know, and we're just very honest and real about that. We're not going to, you know, we know there's good and bad to every sign, and, you know, just because we're honest about there's energies, certain energies of certain signs that clashes with us personally, don't ever let that make you guys think that if you are of a certain sign that we mentioned like that, we're not going to talk to you, or if you call us or hit us up for a reading, we're going to be rude or mean. It's not that at all. It's just we're talking about dating here, number one, okay?
Exactly.
So we're not trying to date. We're not trying to date all of you guys. If you call us for a reading, we ain't trying to date you, okay? So don't take it personally. And once again, I feel like because Cancer's a sensitive sign, we have to put a lot of padding down to make sure they know we're not picking on them. We're honest and 100% about the good and bad of every sign. So with that being said, there are, of course, some other traits that I noticed that are not so great about Cancer men. I mentioned a lot of the good ones in the last, you know, the first episode. So you want to hear about more of those, go back to that one. We're covering some more of the bad and the scandalous too. So some of the negative traits, I guess, of Cancer men when you date them, we forgot to mention last time about how a lot of them are mama's boys. Because Cancer is a sign of the mother. Men who are born into Cancer energy, if they have a good relationship with their mother, the majority of the time, they could be mom's boys. Prime example, the character The Water Boy on the movie The Water Boy, Adam Sandler's character. Perfect example of a Cancer dude. Old as hell, still living at home with mama, wearing some crazy bell-bottom plaid outfit that mama dressed him in. Like, mama said, mama knows everything. And you can't even date a girl because mama thinks every hussy and heifer is the devil. So that plays out very true in real life a lot of times when you date a Cancer dude. His mom probably has Cancer energy somewhere too, and maybe, you know, she's attached to him, he's attached to her. It's like the umbilical cord never got cut all the way or something, and they're attached to mama. Mama doesn't like anybody they bring around. They have to, a lot of them still live with mom, or they're always at mom's house. Mom is the best cook. You can't top mama's cooking. And then it's like, as a woman, or even, gay men, we don't discriminate here. If you are interested in Cancer men and you're dating a woman and you want to cook for them, it's like, a lot of times they'll be like, oh, yeah, this is all right. It's not better than my mom's. Or you need to go to my mom's house so she can teach you how to cook the stuff that I like she does. And it's like, are you kidding me here? Wow.
Oh, my God. I have a Cancer cousin that brought a girl. Oh, my God. You literally touched on a memory. I have a Cancer cousin. His birthday is July the 7th, and he brought a girl home to family dinner, and he told her, he's like, yeah, go in there with my aunts, and you just need to stand there and watch what they're doing so you can learn how to cook. I was like, I couldn't believe that he said that to her. Wow. That was you just touched on something, and that was, oh, my God. Yeah. See, that's why Cancer men irk me.
Yeah, that is classic right there. And as I mentioned last time, I am married to a Cancer sun man, and there are times where he tells me, like, oh, ask my mom how. He doesn't, like, push it upon me, but he'll make suggestions here and there, like, you should ask my mom how to make that, or, like, stuff like that. But, yeah, mom's cooking is the best, and I always say, don't talk about a Cancer dude's mom, okay? Because then he will turn into the water boy on you, okay? He will charge after you emotionally, like unable to control those emotions, full speed ahead, and you are the devil at that time if you talk about his mom, especially if the moon is in Cancer that day or it's a full moon. Oh, no, don't talk about mama. Don't talk about mom. Don't talk about their family, okay, because they're sensitive about their family too. Their family could be the biggest bunch of crazy lunatic crackheads, strung out, like criminals. But if you talk about their family, it's on. They will, like, lose their shit. They won't even really think about it. They'll just, like the water boy, just charge after you.
Wow.
Yeah, so just be very careful with talking about their mom or their family, since that's what the sign of Cancer rules. And as I mentioned, a lot of them can be mama's boys, always hanging on their mom, and, a lot of them still live at home, even when they're old. Like, if you've ever dated a dude who still lives at home, chances are there's their energy in his chart. I would bet money on it. I sure would. One time I dated this Cancer dude. I will tell this scandalous story. Oh, my gosh. Well, once we get more into the scandalous. So I dated this Cancer dude. I was 20 and he was 25. And usually I usually date guys like my age or a little bit younger. Okay, by the way, my chart is set up, okay? So I was like, oh, an older guy. He's an older man. This is a nice change, And no, he still lived at home with his mom. That should have been red flag number one, okay, like the main one. And he had a kid, but the kid, he lived at home, and he would bring me over to his house, or his mom's house, and his mom would knock on the door, like, if we were chilling, and be like, why is that girl here? When is she going to go home? Isn't she a mom? And I'm like, how old are you for real, dude? Like, why is your mom all in our business? Aren't you, like, damn near 30? Like, yeah, so Cancer dudes will live at home. I dated briefly another Cancer dude, and same thing. He was 23, still living with his parents, and it's like they always have a weird reason to still weirdly live at home. I never got that. And I have some relatives, distant relatives, that have like their sun in the fourth house or moon in the fourth house, which is the same as Cancer energy. All of them grown-ass people still live at home with their mom. Or if they don't live at home with them, they have to live around the corner from mom, down the street from mom, still go to their house for dinner. And I'm not saying that, oh, it's bad for you to want to spend time with your mom, spend time with family, but it's like they're so attached that if you're dating them, you're trying to get to know them, it's hard to pull them away out of their comfortable shell of mommy and family. Just like the adults to go on adult dates and get to know each other. It's really, it could be like pulling teeth, you guys. Like, I'm telling you. So, that's one of the the like negative bad traits of Cancer that I didn't mention last time. So yeah, Ab, did you have any other ones?
Yeah, I remember we touched on a little bit that that can go both ways, and I'll just reiterate that a little bit. If a Cancer man doesn't have a healthy relationship with his mother, that can be just as bad as him having a healthy relationship with his mother. Because, say, for example, if his mother abandoned him, or if his mother abused him, or if he just really doesn't get along with his mom in general, his relationship with his mother is kind of synonymous with the relationship with his girl or his future wife, any woman in his life. So just err on the side of caution when dealing with a Cancer man or a heavily influenced Cancer man that doesn't have a healthy relationship with his mother. You would be better off picking the one that has more of a mama's boy relationship with his mother opposed to a dysfunctional relationship with his mother, because things can get really ugly when that happens. I did date the best relationship I had with Cancer men in my youth, meaning I was no older than 19. Sexually, I was compatible with these two Cancers, but one of them, for sure, his mom hated me, and that caused a rift between me and him. Like, I was really digging him. I grew up in Atlanta. I went to school there for I want to say between the ages of 7th grade and 10th grade. So he was really cool. Him and his family had moved from D.C. to Atlanta, and I was like, oh, wow, my mom lives in the Maryland, D.C. area, and I go up there to visit her. So we kind of had that in common. But anyway, fast forward, me and him, we talk, we would chill all the time, and then when I started going to his house, and he was like, oh, I want you to meet my family, my mom, typical Cancer stuff. I met his mother the first time. I came into her kitchen. She was sitting at her table on the phone, and I put my hand out to shake her hand, and she just kind of gave me this flimsy-ass handshake, like, oh, hey, how you doing? Like that kind of thing. And I was like, why the fuck is she acting like a bitch? Like, it was like her vibe was totally thrown. And I was like, okay, well, maybe she's just acting like that because she's on the phone. And we just rushed into her kitchen, and she wasn't prepared to, meet anyone. So I let that shit slide. And, we was chilling in his house and stuff like that. And we were both relatively young, but I guess we were old enough for bonage age. So the mom knocked on his door, and she was like, what time is she going home? And he was like, okay, I'm about to walk her out now and all of that. So, yeah, fast forward, me and him would chill. Sometimes we would play hooky and we would chill, whatever, while his mom was at work. So, long story short, his mom would come home from work and I would be there. And, of course, it would look like maybe we just had got out of school, even though we went to different schools, and I was there. She was still doing this whole little egging me type of shit. Like, and the one day I asked him, I was like, does your mom not like me? Like, what's her problem? And he was like, nah, she doesn't feel like being bothered when she just got off work. He was always like making excuses for her fucked up ass behavior. So once she started seeing me around a little bit more and homegirl noticed that I was getting closer to her son, she was just like nipping that shit in the bud. So one day I asked him, like, hey, you want to chill today? And he was like, oh, no, my mom says she doesn't want me to have any company. Okay, whatever, cool. So I called him. This is back in the day. So I called him, and it says, your number has been blocked from calling. And
what?
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, she blocked my number? So, of course, I'm like, okay, well, fuck that. I'll call from my cell phone. This is like back Nokia cell phone, prepaid minute days. So I was like, okay, I'll get some minutes on my cell phone, and I'll call him from my cell phone. Same thing, I called from my cell phone, and I said, can I speak to Donnell? And she was like, hold on. And I can hear her calling for him, but she hangs up the phone in the midst of that. So I called back, and she had blocked my cell phone number. I was like, wow. She's a petty-ass lady. So, mind you, my house had 2 lines. My grandma had her line, and us kids had a phone line because my grandma was like, oh, I hate that shit when I want to use my phone and I can't use my phone, so whatever. So I went and tried to call him from my grandma's phone. Same fucking shit. And long story short, she blocked every number I had, and I happened to see him in passing downtown one day, and he was like, hey, what happened to you? And I was like, your mom blocked every fucking number I have? And he was like, oh, I thought you just stopped calling me. I thought you just broke up with me. And I'm like, dude, whatever. By that time, I was so not beat for talking to him anymore. Like, that was my first incident of dealing with a psycho-ass cancer's mother. So I was like, oh, I never want to deal with that shit anymore. Like, so that was my story of dealing with a Cancerian mama's boy, and never, ever, ever again.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
She blocked all 3. Wow.
Blocked
that
all
really
3 of my numbers, girl. And the kicker to this part is that the kicker to this story is her father, which was Donnell's grandfather, lived there with them too. And the grandfather would never tell, like, if I was there or anything. But one day I was sitting in the living room waiting for Donnell to come out, and his old-ass granddaddy made a pass at me. I thought that was the weirdest shit ever. Yeah, so I didn't feel comfortable going over to his house like that after that happened. And, yeah, so just a little crazy-ass tidbit. But, oh, my God. And the grandfather had one of those trach things in his throat. Do you know when people, like, get that throat cancer? So his granddad had the little microphone shit to his throat. Like, dude, how the fuck you trying to holler at your grandson's girl with a trach microphone? Fuck out of here. Who does that?
Was he talking like a robot? Like, hey, young pretty thing.
Exactly. It was just like
you want? It was like, You want some of this? This is all night long, little girl.
Gross, gross, gross. And I never told the cancer dude about that because he was very territorial about his family and stuff. So just like you mentioned, even if their family is a bunch of quacks, don't say shit about them, period.
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah.
You cannot. You cannot.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Wow. Oh, my gosh. I still can't believe that about his mom. Just straight blocked you like that.
Yeah, blocked all my numbers. Old dingbat-ass, silly-ass lady. I'm sure her son is somewhere with, like, a few baby mamas, probably still lives with her, and whatever.
And she probably doesn't mind him living there.
I bet
That
she ain't blocking numbers now.
Well, she can't now with technology. Hello.
Not with technology, she can't.
That's crazy. Yeah, the Venus and Cancer guy that I had dated, his mom was a little bit intrusive at times, but you know, mainly his sister didn't like me. That's another, like, a female family member, Venus and Cancer. His sister didn't like me. She was jealous of all the little girlfriends he had, including me, and she would block me like that. Not block my number, but I would call the house for him because this was back in the day too. And I would ask for him, and then she would just be so snotty and be like, no, he's not here. And I'd be like, can you tell my call? Click. She'd hang up on me. And I'd be like, yo. And then, like, he would always, you know, Venus and Cancer, we would walk hand in hand. We'd see his sister. He would be like, hey, I want you to talk to my sister. I want you to meet my sister. And I'm like, okay, cool. I was cool with it. But she would be so snotty and snub me all the time. And I'm like, what the? And
wow.
then the good thing about Cancers, though, they're protective. So if ever I stop by his house and his sister answers the door being a total biatch, he would step aside, push her out of the way, and be like, get the hell out of the way. Like, come on, girl, come in the house. Don't mind her. You know, he would always protect me. He was so protective of me. It was so cute. But, yeah, there's another female family member, like all, you know, weird about their Cancer son or family member. And I'm like, yo, man, what is this? But at least he was like, you know, he blocked them out of my way and stuff. So that was cool. But, oh, my God, I can't believe that about your Cancer dude, the water boy. His mom was like the water boy. She's the devil. She's the devil, son.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like. And I always kind of got the sense, like, maybe she thought I was trying to get pregnant by him or something. Like, hell no. Like, if she only knew. We used the condom every time. Like, she was just really petty.
That's good because that leads into another thing that I have heard about some Cancer dudes is that I've heard commonly said that a lot of them, because, you know, it's the sign that rules creating children or, family and all that stuff, babies, it rules babies, that a lot of them don't really like stuff like that. They just like to be au natural and, you know, and some of them will play some little tricks on you and try to manipulate you into being au natural along with them. And even though they may not have the aim and the goal of actually, you know, trying to have a kid with you, they just like the whole natural thing. You know what I'm saying? I have kids around, so you know what I'm saying, you know. So, so I experienced that before. They try to be tricky with that stuff, and it's just like, dude, no, are you kidding me? Like, ugh. Like, I had one time. He did the most manipulative thing to try to get away with stuff like that or convince me to do something like that. He took, he got tested for all kinds of stuff, you know. And he came back and showed me the paper all excited, like, that he was clean. And I'm like, yeah, and, I mean, clap, clap, good for you. And, like, what does this got to do with me? Like, oh, okay, it's important for me to know. I get it. But we always take precautions. So, like, what are you trying to say here in your manipulative Cancer way? And he was trying to be like, see here, babe, now we can just be free and not have to. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not doing it. I mean, this is great, but no.
Very true. Cancer men tend to hate condoms. They will actually feel insulted if you tell them that you would rather wear a condom. Some of them act like, oh, well, why do you need to wear a condom with me? That's unnecessary. I dated a guy. I want to say we dated about maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I didn't take him seriously. And I want to say he was a Leo, but he was extremely close to Cancer. Like he was a June Leo, or if he wasn't a June Leo, he was a very early Cancer. And I wasn't interested in him like that, but I was like, man, he's hella cute. You know, he looks good. I really, really want to smash. So, long story short, our first time together, he had the condom in his hand. It was dark in the room, but, you know, we were getting ready to do it. And when he began to insert himself, I was like, did he just try to fake me out that he put the rubber on and he didn't? I immediately freaked out because in my mind, this is a person that's Mars conjunct Pluto in Scorpio in my 8th house, so I'm like a total STD phobe. In my mind, I'm like, oh, my God, he's trying to give me something. He's trying to give me a STD. And when I realized that he didn't have anything on, I went apeshit. And I was like, how dare you? What are you doing? Are you fucking crazy? Like, I just went ballistic. And he was like, why are you acting like that? And I was like, because you sat here, and this makes perfect sense if he's a Gemini Cancer or somewhere in that little realm, because a Gemini would try to fake your ass out on some shit too. I said, because you sat there and opened the condom and tried to make it seem like you were putting it on. I might be a little tipsy, but I'm not that fucked up to realize that you didn't put it on, and you're just trying to insert yourself in me, and I don't even know you like that. I mean, we've been talking for a few weeks, but I don't know you like that. I went ballistic. I was like, look, take me home. Long story short, he took me home. I literally got out his car, slammed the door, and he drove off. Never heard from him again. And if you know, back in the day, when dudes would drop you off, like it was like a written rule that a man sits there and wait until you're in your door before he pulls off. Oh, no. Homeboy pulled off and damn near like popped up gravel as he pulled off. So, yeah, definitely be mindful of that. And Cancer men can turn a little bit dark-sided if they were planning on getting some booty without a rubber and you turn them down.
Oh, my gosh. What a story. Wow, that's really scandalous. So it looks like we're getting into the scandalous zone now. Okay, all right, I'm down with this. Okay. Yeah, that's something that I, like I said, I've been a victim of attempted trickery like that, and also I've heard from other girlfriends of mine back in the day when I was single. We were all single and young would date, of some Cancer dudes trying that on some of, you know, girlfriends that I knew too. And that's why, is because they like the act of creating a child, but even if they don't actually want to create one, they like the natural feeling of that. So watch out for that if you date some Cancer men, okay? So another scandalous story I have. Oh my God. This one I can barely tell without cracking up laughing because it's just so ridiculous. Oh my God. Okay, so this is the same dude that was 5 years older than me, and I was 20. I had just gotten out of a 5-year relationship, my first long-term relationship. So I was new to, like, dating around, but I knew that I didn't want, like, a long-term relationship. I mean, come on, I was in one since I was 15. Like, I was like, can a ninja live, you know, a little bit? So, no, I wasn't trying to be a hood rat, exactly. But it was just like I was, you know, testing the waters a little bit with, like, one dude at a time, you know, and stuff like that. I wouldn't actually be, like, full-on physical with multiple dudes at a time. That just felt dirty to me. But I still kept my options open. Like, I would still go out. If somebody gave me their number, I would take it. You know, if they wanted to talk to me on the phone, I would still, you know, talk for hours on the phone with other dudes. But it would be, like, a main one that I was hooking up with, pretty much. But I'd let this dude know, like I said in the last broadcast, I let him know from the beginning, look, I enjoy your company, I enjoy our time together, but I'm really not trying to be, like, committed. Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's fine, girl, it's fine. Okay, so, strike one with this dude. Yeah, right. Okay, so strike one. Okay. I'm hanging with dude. We go back to his mama's house, right, in his room. He's telling me, oh, I went out tonight with my guys to the bar, like, before you came over. And I was like, that's cool. Yeah, there were girls hitting on me and stuff. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, one of them asked me for my number, gave me her number and all that. And I'm like, okay, and... oh, well, I just thought I'd let you know. I'm like, you don't have to let me know anything. I'm not your girlfriend. Like, it doesn't matter to me, so do what you want to do. So he got annoyed that I wasn't jealous, okay? So, no, this was over the phone he told me that. Then he's like, you want to come over and chill? Yeah, cool. I go over and chill. I walk in his room. The dude has a table in his room, a little table, conveniently placed on the table, wide in the open, is a phone number written down. And, like, I glanced at it, of course, being a Scorpio, X-ray vision, I saw it was a chick's number. And I'm like, did this fool just really put this number right there so I can see it? And he's expecting me to go, oh, my God, it's another girl's number. Oh, my God, I only want you to myself. No, I didn't do any of that. I was like, this is so stupid. I'm just not even going to acknowledge this. So the whole time I was there, I didn't acknowledge it, and he was annoyed. He was so annoyed that I didn't get jealous over him, okay? So stupid, right? That was strike one. Strike two, I went on a trip. I went on a trip to Mexico with some people. I came back. The dude was like, let me stop by and visit you. Okay, cool. He comes over in his car. I go outside, talk to him. He's like, you didn't bring me anything? Why is it that whenever you go on a trip somewhere, cancers are always like, why didn't you bring me anything back? Like, I'm going to be thinking about your ass the whole time I'm there, Cancer. Like, I've had guy and girls, like, do that to me. And so he was like, why did you didn't think about me? You didn't bring me anything? And I was like, well, I collected some seashells on the beach. Oh, let me have some of those. Okay.
Oh, my
you can have
God.
some broken, crusty-ass seashells. Here you go. Also, back in the day, we would take pictures at this, I don't know if it's a West Coast thing only, but there's, like, these places at the mall where they take these pictures with these, like, cool-looking backgrounds, and it's a photo studio. There's, like, Pose, and I can't remember the names of all of them, but they're all pretty much the same thing. Everybody has them over here on the West Coast. So I had some of those. I gave the guy one of my pictures. I would give them out to all the dudes back then. Not just dudes, but everybody. But I gave him one of my pictures, right? And I gave him some seashells from the beach, okay? He comes back to my house the next time. What does he have on his dashboard of his car? A picture of me and those motherfucking seashells. Why are they on the dashboard of your car? Like, what? And I even asked him, I'm like, what is that? He's like, look, babe. And I'm like, first of all, babe, what? Second of all, like, I'm not even your girlfriend. Why would you do that? Like, what if you have other chicks in your car? Well, maybe there won't be other chicks in my car. And I'm like, you can do what you want. Like, that's just kind of weird. Like, take them off, you know? Okay, that's strike two. Strike 3, the ultimate, like, he invites me to his mom's house one night, okay, to his room. I go in there. I walk in. It's dark, but yet there's candles lit, like, on this little table he has. I walk over to the table. There is a picture of me and the seashells and candles, like, all lit up like a little shrine thing on this table. And I was like, did this mother build a shrine to me? What the hell I was like, what is this? He's like, oh, you don't like it? And I'm like, this is freaking weird. Like, who does this?
Sick and twisted.
I'm like, are you doing some voodoo on me or something? Like, what the?
With a chick that he just has a friends with benefits, not even his girlfriend.
No, we were talking to each other. This was like 2 months. This was all in the span of like 2 months. Okay?
Wow.
And yeah, like barely. He built a shrine. First, he had a little mini shrine on his dashboard of his car. Then he took it. I said, take that shit out. And then he puts it in his room with candles lit all around my picture. And I'm like, whoa. After that, I was like, I can't with this dude. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot one other thing, which should have been strike number 1 way back when I first met him. I was chilling with him in his room, that was really all we did. He didn't want to go out on dates because Cancer is a sign of home. He just wanted to chill at home all the time, which I should have known better, but I was only 20, so whatever. But we're chilling in his room. He has some hip-hop magazines, right? I'm flipping through one of them. There's a picture of Nelly in there. I love Nelly. Like, Nelly is like, he is beautiful. So I was like, I commented on Nelly. I was like, damn, Nelly's so fine or something like that. This dude got so mad. He got so jealous and pissed off. The whole rest of the night, he was acting like a little bitch. All because I said Nelly looks good. And I'm like, are you seriously mad because I commented on a celebrity in a magazine that I'll probably never meet? Well, you're talking about other guys. And you're here in my room.
That is the truth. Oh my God! You hit the nail on the head. Do not compliment, act like you like. Don't say anybody's cute. None of that. Don't say none of that around a Cancer man. Their jealousy. It doesn't even matter if the guy is a celebrity and you're probably never ever going to meet them. Oh my God.
No, it doesn't matter. They get so jealous. And that's that whole insecurity thing that a lot of Cancer men tend to have. They're so insecure in themselves and in their masculinity because there's all this feminine stuff flying around, this cancery stuff, that if you talk about another man, they're not confident in themselves. So they're going to be like pouty and bitchy about it. Like, you talking about this dude. I have the other Cancer that I tried to have this same type of very casual dating relationship with years later. Same thing. I was watching a video of some of my homeboys who were in this dance crew, and I think they even made it to America's Best Dance Crew. But I have a thing for dancers, and I shouldn't have told him that because this dude was far from being a dancer. Strike number 1 with him should have been the fact that he didn't know who Michael Jackson was outside of like the rumors and the gossip about Michael Jackson. He didn't know his music.
Wow.
He had never seen Thriller. I showed him Thriller. He's like, look, they're doing the Teen Wolf dance. I'm like, who are you? I was like, how did you get in my house? You don't know
Girl,
Thriller?
that would have
like,
turned. If I get with a dude and he don't know who Michael Jackson is, all right, I'll holler at you. Take it easy. It was a little too late at that point. I was like, okay, that's a strike, but let me still see, what happens here, okay? But no, so like he didn't know about any of that stuff. And I was a hip hop dancer at the time, so I took him to a battle, to a b-boy battle. He was like, yeah, I want to check it out. I took him, and when we left, I was like, so what did you think? Because that's the stuff that is like,
my fifth house. My heart just beats for that stuff, right? So if a guy can't be appreciative of my interests like that, my passions, then that kind of is like a deflated balloon, you know, like as far as feelings. And I was like, so what did you think? He was like, yeah, it was cool, but, and I was like, what? Well, I don't know. I just feel kind of bad because I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And you're checking out all these guys, and then their shirts flying up, and they have abs, and I don't. I was like,
oh,
you
my.
bitch.
I hope you were just looking at him with disgust. Crybaby ass bitches. Like, pull your skirt down. Damn.
Okay. So I can't even watch a video of dudes dancing around you, and I can't take you to a live battle, which was like, that's my favorite pastime, like how people go to, I went to B-boy battles. I can't take you to one of these without you crying because you can't spin on your head and have abs showing. Like, what the dude, get out of here. Peace. Like, no, I can't do this. Oh, my God.
Sounds about right.
Terrible. The jealousy.
And I was just about to say, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead because I need to clear my throat. I'm having too much fun laughing.
If you were dating a Cancer, be mindful of telling him what you like, what you are attracted to, who you find cute, because one, he could get really annoyed if you and him are just sitting back watching a basketball game and you're like, damn, number 3 is fine as shit. He's going to get mad about that, and he's going to be pissed off for the rest of the night. Then, say, for example, if he notices that you always say guys that look like number 2 are cute, he's going to start trying to identify your type, and that's when he's going to be a little bit more of an asshole if you guys are out in public and he identifies someone that, quote unquote, might be your type. It's like they're looking for patterns. So it's really best to keep quiet about what you like, what your type is, when it comes to guys that you date. Then another issue as well is having adult conversations with them. Like, say, for example, if you and him are sitting there chit-chatting about somebody you used to date in the past, or if you mentioned something that you used to do with your ex and that was cool, or fun things that you used to do with your ex, even though they're still your ex, they take all of that shit personally. They get really mad about all of that. My children's father is a Cancer moon, and I was explaining to him that my first husband, that his mother, my ex-mother-in-law, she was very good to me, and I always said in the beginning of our union, I was like, if anything happens to her, I want to go and pay my respects, go to her funeral, whatever. And I was like, because it was times that she was there for me that my own mother wasn't or couldn't be there for me. She was there for me. He took that shit so personally, like, oh, you still fucking love that dude? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I said if anything happens to his mother that I would like to go and pay my respects, what part did you hear? You heard something about me still wanting to be with my ex-husband, but I have to understand, in a Cancer's mind, that's a sad and somber situation. Maybe you're going to go to the funeral, then you're going to hug your ex and say, oh, poor person, I'm sorry you lost your mom. Maybe we should get a room and go and sleep together to make you feel. That's all of the shit that accelerates in a Cancer's mind. So they're always thinking the worst. usually when it comes to their spouse. So you really have to be mindful of that. And one last story that I have, personal experience, again, with my children's father. He's a Cancer moon. Never again in life will I ever. But one of our first dates, and this should have been a red flag, and I always say this, but I tried to get away from him numerous times. I swear to God. I tried to get away from him so many times, but Cancers just have this thing about clinging to you and not letting you free. So anyway, we were at a movie theater, and this movie theater is huge, downtown Silver Spring movie theater, and the lines were long as shit. And I remember we were going on opening night of The Woman in Black. It was a scary movie. So the lines are long as shit, and I was like, okay, well, you stand in the automated ticket line, and I'll stand in the human ticket line, basically where you can talk to a clerk and get your ticket. And I was like, shit, let's see who gets to the front first. So anyway, I'm standing in line, older gentleman, attractive older gentleman, but this older gentleman is in front of me, and, you know, me and him just start busting it up, just start talking. And he's like, what are you guys here to see? He's seen me and Jason talking. So basically, we were standing in a line behind him talking, and he went over to the automated ticket line, and he just started talking to me. He was like, what are you guys going to see tonight? And I said, we're going to see the new scary movie, The Woman in Black. And he was like, we're going to see the new Denzel movie. My daughter and my wife are parking the car. And he was asking me, was that my husband? And, you know, we were just having small talk. It wasn't even nothing serious. But lo and behold, this Cancer-ass bitch is over there in the automated ticket line just getting angrier by the second, looking at me, boy, talking at this guy. He's like, getting all mad. So when we make it to the ticket line, I actually made it to the ticket line first. So he comes up and he pays for the tickets, and I go to grab his arm, like we were walking arm in arm at first, and he snatched his arm away from me. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with him? So next thing we know, we're going up the escalator, and I try to grab his arm again. He snatches his arm away from me. So now we're up at the concession stand to buy popcorn and shit, and he was like, what do you want? And I said, why are you acting like that? Could you just order what you want so we could just go? And I said, well, you aren't getting anything? No, I don't want anything. And I said, okay, I'm going to have my blue slushie, and I guess I'll get some M&Ms. So he pays for the shit, and he's just like, I grab my stuff, and we're just walking in there. And we sit down, and, of course, we're waiting for the commercials and stuff. And I'm like, did something happen between now and when we were in the line? And it all starts flooding in. And he eventually said, do you always laugh and smile in random men's faces like that? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So you got an attitude because I was talking to the old dude in the line? Are you kidding me? Like, in their minds, if you flip your hair and smile or act like you're enjoying another man's conversation, it's immediately going to cause a problem. It's immediately going to be an issue. Like, he would even hate the fact that if a man greeted me in public and I said, hi, how you doing? If I said that back, he would get an attitude. And I would ask him, like, what is your problem? And he was like, why do you have to say, hi, how you doing? Or why do you have to say, hi, I'm fine, how are you? Why can't you just say, hey, and keep it moving? And I'm like, what is your deal? Like, I'm a friendly person. I'm an Aquarius rising. I talk to people. I greet people. I treat people like they're a human fucking being, no matter what? That's just who I am. Well, when you say hi, how you doing, and you smile and all that shit, men see that as an open invitation. And I'm like, what? I've been doing that my entire life. Every guy I say hello to doesn't, like, want to get me in bed. Like, it's ridiculous. That was a really big issue when we first got together. It probably is still a big issue now. I just don't give a fuck anymore. But, yeah, that was one of our first dates, and he spazzed out like that in the movie and got an attitude just because me and that older gentleman were killing time having conversation in the line, waiting for our turn at the window. And his family is parking his car. Like, are you kidding me? It was just ridiculous. So, yeah, point proven, be mindful of Cancer men and their jealous rants and outbursts.
Yeah, oh my gosh. And that was like one of the first days. Yeah, you're right. That should have been a red flag, but you know what?
Yeah.
Pisces moon was probably like, let me give him a chance and see if this is something that's a one-time deal, you know.
Maybe he'll stop doing that dumbass shit, but no. Yeah. Ladies, the moon is worse than the sun. If you are attracted to Cancer men and you enjoy that energy, your ass better get a Cancer sun or a Cancer rising. But don't you dare go and get a Cancer moon or a Cancer stellium. Take it from
me. Yeah.
Save yourself a headache, honey.
Wow, yeah, that jealousy could be off the chain. I think Cancers and Scorpios, I think they can be the absolute worst when it comes to the jealousy. But, you know, we'll talk about Scorpios in a few weeks. I think like next month or something we're going to cover them. So we'll get to them then. But yeah, Cancers can be just as bad with the jealousy. And theirs is more of an insecurity thing, I think, worse than Scorpio. I think Scorpio is more like, we'll discuss it, you know, when we talk about that.
Yeah, and I know what you mean, because I love Scorpio men, but their jealousy isn't coming from an insecure place. Like, if your Scorpio man is secure in his position with you, he's really not going to give you a lot of shit. But a Cancer man, it can come from anywhere, drop of a hat. Like, you guys could be having a nice, lovely day in the park, and the next thing you know, a guy who he thinks that you find attractive comes and sits next to you guys in the park. And next thing you know, he's messing up the whole picnic because he thinks you likes this guy. Like, it's really bad.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, and the thing is, they're not going to be as open about it. Say, for example, like Aries men. Aries men are very territorial, but they will be right then and there just calling you out like, hey, what is this? You like this dude or what? You know, but a Cancer man will sulk. They'll sulk and pout, and first they want you to figure it out. Figure out that they're upset and mad. You just should
They want to play Blues Clues with your ass. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I hate that shit. I hate that Blues Clues shit. I hate that passive-aggressive shit. I hate that you sit here and try to figure out why I'm mad. Oh, my God, I hate it. I think I'm about to have a panic attack. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. No, yes. It's that whole thing of, like, you know, they're the baby. They want you to be the mommy and read their facial expressions without them talking and just know that they're mad and they're upset. And then that whole thing that you talked about last show where you said that, you know, because of they're a water sign, it's like their emotions, if they're sour, there's like a sour vibe in the room. It's like a puddle of water, a bucket of water that had like drops of like freaking, I don't know, some like food coloring. You drop it in there and then it spreads and eventually it colors the whole water. I don't know, that's just what came to mind. But that's how, like, their foul mood, they walk in the room, and it's like they're that drop of, like, a color going into that bucket of water, just spreads, all this sour and darkness is spreading, you know.
That is the truth.
Murphy was a Cancer.
What? He was?
Yeah, surprisingly,
I would have never thought.
Me neither.
What did you say?
Charlie, I would have never thought he was a Cancer either. I thought maybe he was a Capricorn, had some Scorpio, some Pluto somewhere, which he might. We don't know his rising sign, but he's a Cancer sun. So, I mean, there's the goofy.
Yeah, true that. Like, I would have never thought. And his wife that passed away was a Virgo, so I'm sure him and her were really close. So there's that Cancer-Virgo combo right there.
Yeah. Yeah, but he, like, the stories that he told, it was like he didn't have to try hard to be funny. It just was goofy. Just him talking was just goofy and funny. So, yeah, Charlie Murphy was a Cancer. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Word. Yeah, so we don't really have any callers tonight. It's probably because it's Friday, it's Cinco de Mayo, there's people going out. It's already happy hour, past happy hour, so it's cool, but I'm enjoying our story time. Oh, my gosh. If anybody's listening, I hope you're enjoying, too. But we really only have, like, 12 minutes left. If anybody is listening that wants to call in and share some stories or experiences, or if you're a Cancer dude and you're like, hey, hold up.
And you can bust open the chat, too, and check and see if anybody's there. I wasn't on my laptop, so if you're in front of the computer, you can check if anyone is in the chat. But I'm glad that this second half was very informational, because now women and men, you can look for these type of experiences when you go out on a date with a Cancer man, or if you are having a first date with a Cancer man, you can say, okay, let me be mindful. Let me not act like I'm flirting with any other people. Let me not say crazy shit about his mom when he takes me to meet his mom or his family. So these are all stories that can enhance your relationship dealing with a Cancer man, and you can kind of know before you go how to keep things as steady as possible if you are really looking to entertain a Cancer man and, kind of keep them to yourself. But that should be easy to do when it comes to Cancer men. If he's interested in you. I have to say that Cancer men don't cling to everything. They have to see certain standards in you. They don't cling to everything. But when they do get something that they like, they get clingy.
Very true. Very true. I just also remembered, too, that one of my girlfriends was dating, she's a Pisces, and her kid's father is a Pisces sun. But I just really feel all the Cancer energy coming from him and his family, because they're all a bunch of grown-ass people still living with their mom. And they all have kids themselves. And they still live with mom, and including her kid's father. And that was one reason why they split up. I mean, you think Pisces and Pisces, lovey-dovey, they could be together forever. Well, that's only the surface level. That's only the sun sign. He has some Cancer energy. She has a lot more independent energy in her chart that's like, we need to get our own place. She has a lot. She has a stellium in the 10th house. The 10th house is being an adult out in the world, like away from home, opposite of the 4th house in Cancer. So she's like, we need to move out together and get our own place. He absolutely refused. And they had 2 kids by that time. And she's like, you really want all 4 of us in this little tiny bedroom at your mom's house, crowded in here? Your mom's still doing our laundry, like washing your drawers? Like, isn't that my job now? I mean, come on. Like, I don't want your mom touching my thongs and stuff. Like, really? Like, why are we still living here? And that was a big issue, and that's one reason why they broke up years ago. And now the dude is like damn near 40 and still living at home with his mom. Still there. Oh my! I'm like, Lord, have mercy on these people.
He ain't going nowhere, no time soon.
No, and that's what he says to her. I'm never leaving my mommy. Like, you know what?
Oh my
God. Your cancer ass there. Like, now she's doing great. She's got her a nice former military man, a beautiful home, you know, great career. I'm glad she left him because he's still sitting in that dusty ass house, crowded with all these grown people, with mama. Still there. I'm like, yo, okay, good luck again.
My son is a Cancer Taurus, and I'm going to try my damnedest to make sure that my son has healthy parameters between himself and myself. Now, I do feel that little being the mother of a Cancer son, I do feel that little nudge in my mind that says, like, I don't want my son to bring home a ratchet hoochie that I don't like, and I don't want her to try to, like, make my son hate me, but I know that'll be impossible for her to do because my son's a Cancer, but I do want him to really understand that there has to be healthy parameters between his relationship and mine, and his relationship and me, because I want him to be a healthy spouse. I want him to be a healthy father. Like, I don't want him to still be 40 and living with me. Like, I don't want him to have that typical Cancer man story that he's still with his mom, and, you know, I don't want that for him. So I'm so mindful of all of that Cancer stuff, and I'm like, wow, God really did a number when he gave me a Cancer son, because I steered clear of Cancer men my entire life. I've known from a very early age that I could not stand Cancer men. I have an uncle who's born July the 6th, and me and him never got along, probably from the minute I popped out of my mom's ass. But this is my mother's brother. Yeah, this is my mother's brother. So, and my mother was a teen mom, so I kind of grew up with my aunt and my uncle because they weren't much older than me. But when I came along and I was the first grandchild, my uncle is the baby. He's the last of my grandmother's children. So I kind of took his spot as the baby. So it's always been a little rivalry there because I took his attention, him being my grandma's baby. So, yeah, me and him feuded all the time. He would always, like, pull my hair and pluck my head and do all types of petty little Cancer shit to me. But, yeah, so I've known very early that I did not like Cancer men or their energy. So I always tried to steer clear of it. But, you know, shit happens.
Yeah, like you said last time, Mama Universe can really, you know, really play some tricks sometimes, and she gave me
Mama Universe has a crazy sense of humor.
Oh my gosh, so true, so true. I agree with that. But yeah, I guess that wraps up our show tonight. You know, thanks to everybody who tuned in to us live, and don't forget to listen to the replay, or you maybe already listened to the replay by now, but listen to the replay of part 1 and all of our other shows here on Blog Talk Radio or on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. We do have an Instagram. You can see the latest updates of all of our shows on the Cosmic Council Network. Also, follow us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page to keep you updated as well. As we mentioned earlier, our website is coming soon. We're waiting for Mercury to get out of shadow period and stop messing things up, and then we'll have our website sometime in May. And what else? You can find me at under Pisces Moon Goddess on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat, Pisces Moon Astro. What else? Facebook, Pisces Moon Goddess. And where can you be found, Apollonia?
The Astrology Lady on Facebook, the Astrology Lady on Instagram, and I think that's everything. TheAstrologyLady.com is my personal site for now until our site is up. So, yeah, all things The Astrology Lady, all things The Cosmic Council Radio, and thank you guys for listening. Shout out to the replay viewers, especially if you made it to the end. And I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Tuesday we are back with Sag.
Yes. Next is The Good, the Bad, and the Hairiest Man. So if you are listening, you have any experiences dating a Sagittarius man, that's Sag Sun, Sag Moon, Sag Rising, ninth house planets, Jupiter in the first house, any of that Sagittarian energy, give us a call. Also, give us an email, IM us, DM us, or something on one of our platforms. And let us know your experiences, and we'd love to share them on that day. So, yeah, Sagittarius is next. I was also going to say you can find me also on my personal website. Is IndigoMoonAstrology.com. And all of us here on the Cosmic Council, we do offer readings. We offer consultation services. Our website, when it comes up, will tell you all that info. But, once again, you can find mine and Apollonia's on our websites that we already listed. And, we offer readings, so hit us up. And I think that's about it. We'll play an outro song. I was trying to find some good songs by some Cancer dudes. My library is a little limited right now. I need to work on that. But, I did find the group High Five. I loved High Five back in the day. Tony Thompson, may he R.I.P. He's a Virgo, but he has a Cancer moon, the lead singer of High Five, which is why he was able to sing with so much emotion. He was so good. He's such a beautiful voice. So I think we will close out with one of High Five songs, and we will see you guys on May 16th, Tuesday, for The Good and the Bad, the Scandalous of Dating a Sagittarius Man. So peace out and have a good night. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Peace.
Back in